It's Border Crossings, and I'm Larry London. I'll join you on today's show with our special guests, Hollis Brown. It sounds like a solo artist, but actually, Hollis Brown are a quartet from New York who started in 2009 and chose to name their band after a Bob Dylan song from 1964. Their latest album is called 3 Shots, and they stopped by our D.C. studios to tell us about the new album and perform a few songs live. Holtz Magazine calls their music a little Americana and a lot of rock and roll. It's Hollis Brown on today's Border Crossings. Border Crossings, we welcome you to the Voice of America. My name's Larry London, and in our studios today, we have 3 guys who are on tour for a brand new album called 3 Shots. They're 3 guys. They are Hollis Brown. We welcome Hollis Brown to D.C. Guys, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us.
It's great to have you back in the studios here at VOA. This is the second time around for you guys.
Second time, yeah.
And a lot of things have changed since the last time we spoke. You have a brand new album, which
we made
is
a new
3
record.
Shots. That just came out at the beginning of May.
Mm-hmm. May 5th. Yeah.
So that's exciting. You guys must be really, really pumped.
Yeah, we are really pumped. We got to make the new record, which was a great thrill for us to be able to record new music, you know. We were on tour in Europe last year quite a bit and all over the States. I think we did like 120 shows in 10 or 11 countries, so it was a good year for us, and now we're back with the new record and ready to hit the road again to support it.
Yeah, well, 11 countries. So did you have a favorite experience in any country? Did you like one more than another?
Depends who you ask.
Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, share your experiences. I'd like to hear that because we're broadcasting to many countries right now. Right. So,
yeah, the Netherlands is always good to us. That I love it over there, and it was our first time going over to Spain, so Madrid was really.
That's your favorite. Why? What
really
happened there?
Beautiful, yeah.
Do you get to eat a lot of the food when you go and taste the native foods?
Not so much in England, but the Italians really love to feed you.
Uh-huh.
You know, and
the Spanish love to feed you too. Yeah.
They
all the Romance languages like to treat you well.
And what's the plan for the year ahead? You guys are on the road with Counting Crows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're doing a 40-city tour with the Counting Crows and Citizen Cope. Then we go back to Europe for headlining tour for 5 weeks, I think, and then that'll be most of the year.
From your perspective, what's the difference in the crowds you play outside of the U.S. versus the crowds you play in the U.S.?
Well, I think the crowds in Europe, I always say this same line, but we're kind of exotic when we go over there because we're from America, so they're a little more excited and a little more anxious to see what kind of chops we have since we went all the way over there to play music, you know. But here, you know, we're just a band from New York, and people kind of see that a lot more often coming through town. So it's a little harder to get them up and get them excited and get them into it. But, you know, and hospitality in Europe is a lot nicer, you know. We each get our own hotel room and stuff.
Wow.
So it's kind of cool.
There's no sleeping in the back of the van.
Yeah, there's no pitching a tent anywhere.
Now, you guys started your group, I think, 2009 or something like that?
2009.
And how did you meet? Were you friends before, or was it by chance, or how did it happen?
I met John Bonilla, who's the other guitar player in the band. We went to high school together in New York and Queens, and we had written a bunch of songs, and we wanted to. It took us a couple years to, you know, write songs that we thought were any good, and we wanted to put a band together to see what we can do. And Dylan joined the band because he's our bass player, and he is our first manager, who's a friend of ours named Albert Barabbas. He was helping us out, get gigs and just get our feet wet, and it's his cousin, and he lived in Cleveland. So he said, "Oh, we're looking for a bass player." "Oh, my cousin's a bass player, but he lives in Cleveland," so he moved to New York, literally, just to be in the band. So it's pretty cool.
That's loyalty. Yeah, that's dedication.
Yeah.
But so you said, you know, you waited a while to see if you could write some good songs.
Yeah,
I want you to expand on that. What do you mean by writing good songs versus not writing good songs?
Well, I think you have to write bad songs first. You know,
what's the difference between a bad and a good song?
Oh, you tell me. You know, I could think it's good, and you could think it's bad. But I don't know. I think it's more about being able to put chord progressions together and lyrics and stuff that actually have a meaning and aren't just throwaway, you know, like where you get one good lyric and then the next line is like kind of so-so, or like the hook is not that strong, you know. So I think it's like anything you do. If you do it enough, you get better at it, you know. So I think for us, we had to kind of find our voice and find our collaboration and see what worked for us. Because we were listening to a lot of Velvet Underground stuff and we're from Queens, so all the people were listening to like hardcore and like heavy metal and all this kind of stuff, and we were like, you know, we're more into like Lou Reed and Ziggy Stardust and David Bowie and stuff. So we were a little different from everyone else with our writing process. So it took us a little while to connect, I think. You know?
All right. Well, we're glad you're in our studios, and Three Shots is the name of the new EP or album. It's a full studio album. It's not an EP. It's a full album, complete with artwork. Now, what is the artwork that I'm seeing? It looks like a bullet hole.
Yeah. That's
so
exactly what it
explain
is.
that. But, I mean, Three Shots, bullet hole. What's the concept that's going on with it?
Well, the concept of the song is it's kind of about violence in America and how it's a very violent time where you see all this stuff going on with people going into movie theaters and going into random places that when we were growing up, or even schools, you know, and like I never had to worry about a student, one of my peers, shooting me, you know. So it's like a weird time for America, I think, with violence and just the way society accepts it, and it's desensitized a little, where like where Columbine happened and everybody was, this is a big deal for weeks and months. All we're talking about is mourning this, and now it happens, and the next day the news cycle is like, okay, it happened and we're moving on, you know. So it's kind of weird for me to see that happening to people, you know.
It's very interesting because, you know, our audience has experienced what we're, you know, experiencing here. It's been Middle East has been
Middle East,
you know,
and
at
Paris,
war and unrest for
right?
years, and in France, as you mentioned, and in Africa, and
England.
Burundi, and Nigeria with Boko Haram, and all the things going on all over the world right now. There's a lot of problems and unrest, and so this is a very timely message.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we don't get used to it. You know.
Well, that's great. Well put. Hollis Brown in our studios is going to perform for us right now.
Yeah, it's Three Shots, the title track.
Perfect.
Yeah, good timing.
What a segue.
Oh, this city, what's it doing to me? You hear something different every day. There was a little one, he got caught in the sun. Surveys about guns on Channel 1. Oh, and everyone knows that 3 shots on the boulevard, and
shots. Hollis Brown here on Border Crossings. The guys are out on tour. MTV said some great things about you. Spin Magazine's written some nice things about you. It's got to feel good. It's kind of, affirmation. What you're doing is being heard and being well received. But probably nothing is better and bigger than the fans when you go and perform. And more seats are filling up. You're playing larger venues. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's kind of like you don't believe that it's happening sometimes, But.
What's the biggest change since last time you were here? You only had a song. Now you got an album. Obviously, that's a change. But what have you noticed different about things that are happening to Hollis Brown these days than when you started?
I think for the first time, I really noticed it at this past South by Southwest. It's like our 5th one or something, and I think it's starting to grow outside of things that we do, like things that we try and promote and stuff. It's like kind of organically growing, like people sharing it and people showing their friends. And I've talked to people like, oh my gosh, my friend showed me your music, I love it, now I love it too. So that's the biggest thing I've noticed, and that's all you can hope for.
Yeah,
as a band.
It's really starting to be where, and internationally also, but people that we have no idea who they are telling us stories about how stuff influenced, their life and stuff, and it's like crazy.
Well, give me some ideas. Give me more input.
Yeah, there was this one that I still think about. I was thinking about it the other day, actually. There was a woman who just tweeted about it, and she has I think she has a daughter or something with some type of disease. I think it's cerebral palsy or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what she has, and she was listening to she tweeted at us that there was a song off our first record called When the Weather's Warm, and like her daughter never speaks, and that she put the song on, and she said, she was singing along with the song, and then she said she was crying for days about how her daughter actually spoke during one of our singing our songs. So it was like incredible, and that's why we make music,
Right, and music reaches people of every language, every culture. Music is, as we've said many times and heard people say, is the universal language.
Yeah.
So that is great when you can, make a difference in someone's life.
Yeah, and even going to these countries, where people don't speak English, and they know our songs,
That's
really
gotta blow you
brings
away,
people
huh?
together. Yeah,
There was a couple in Newcastle in England that their first date, I think the first time they really hung out was at our first show when we played in Newcastle. They had a great time. They loved the music. They bought all the CDs. And then the next time we came back, the guy came up to us, like off to the side. He's like, I'm going to propose to her. If you guys are the first, can I come up in the middle of your set? And he came up and proposed
on
between
stage.
songs.
Pretty cool.
And she said...
She said yes.
Okay, good.
I'll think
that
about
makes
it.
for a happy ending, doesn't it?
Yeah, they asked us to play the wedding, but I think we're going to be on tour.
Yeah, we can't do it.
It's unfortunate.
She
Well,
said, I don't know. We'll see.
It's exciting times for Hollis Brown, on the road internationally and here in the United States. That certainly keeps you busy. If people want to get the new album, I imagine it's not only iTunes and Amazon and now probably Tidal, but where else? Where else can Spotify? My gosh, the list is growing.
Record stores.
Stores.
Our website.
Your website.
Yeah.
That's where we were
online
leading
store.
to.
Yeah,
that's the
big
key.
one.
Is what's your website?
HollisBrown.com.
HollisBrown.com. Where'd you come up with the name Hollis Brown?
It's actually a song that Bob Dylan wrote called The Ballad of Hollis Brown. It's off of like one of his early records. I think it's Times They Are Changing record. And we wanted to just be great songwriters like him and carry on like a lineage of great American music. So we kind of
That's fantastic. Who are you guys listening to? Who inspires you?
Right now, you mean?
Right now.
Well, I mean, we did a cover album for Record Store Day for the last year, and it was the Velvet Underground's record, Loaded. We just redid the record for Record Store Day, and it sold out pretty quick. So obviously, I love Lou Reed. I think just anybody who's great. We all are inspired by different people.
I think the songwriting is the one. We all have different things that different areas we go into, but good songwriters is one recurring thing. I've been hard into Willie Nelson lately.
That's great.
Been a
Willie Nelson's great. We saw him at South by Southwest. It was incredible.
A magical experience.
Really
What's
cool.
the process for writing songs? I mean, you do it together. You contribute one. You contribute.
Every
one,
song is
always...
different. I mean, usually, like me and Adam just wrote a song. We just came over my house and we just kind of get together and get the chord progression and figure out what we want to say lyrically. And then usually one of us will fine tune it. Usually I'll be like, okay, let me just make sure the order is good so we could present it and demo it. And we'll demo it at the house. Then we take it to the band and the rhythm section will see it a certain way and change it, and then the guitars will change it, and then the vocals will adjust, and then we go to a producer and changes again.
Usually it changes pretty.
It changes all the time.
studio.
It's changing right now, actually, because we don't usually play acoustic. So it's,
Well, we're glad that you guys come in and do this for us. Thank you very much. I know it's very different, as you said, from what you normally do on stage. Where's the strangest place you ever got inspiration for a song?
The strangest place I got it. We were in Paris, and I was vacationing there after our tour, and I was walking around all week trying to find some type of inspiration for it. I couldn't find a single thing, and it was really strange to me. And then I went to this Salvatore Dali exhibit museum, actually, in Montmartre in Paris, and I saw this painting called "Girl in a Window," and that was just inspired me. So I wrote a song actually about the painting. And it made the record. It's on the record. It's called "Mi Amor."
Wow.
And so that was pretty weird for me because I never thought another piece of art would be a basis
create
for
another
a
piece
thing.
of art.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. How about you guys? Tough question.
Well, I'm not much of a lyricist. I wish I was more. I love Mike's lyrics, but bass playing, tons of inspiration, just from a lot of the guys that I look up to. But songwriting, you'll hear something, you'll have. Not rip something off, but you'll be like, like
we don't steal.
We don't steal. But, it's like
blurred line. Wait a minute, no.
Right. But no, it's like what if we tried something like this feel wise? I mean, that's probably more of what I write for the band. It's more of like the rhythm aspect. Me and the drummer.
So, who do you think is the best bass guitarist in the history of music?
It's a tough one.
Yes,
probably
it is.
James Jamerson.
All right.
Or Paul McCartney.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
It's Hollis Brown in our studios. I'm going to ask you guys to do another song for us.
Sure.
If you would. What's this one called?
What do you think? We'll do Sandy. It's called Sandy.
Sandy.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet Sandy, won't you be my love? Won't you be my love? Sandy, won't you be my love? Won't you be my love? Sandy, won't you be my love? I wanna dance with my baby. Well, I need to see her in the dark. I need to hold her and make her mine, oh mine. She's been on it for years now. Takes the stage and works the scene. Just watch her move, she's got to be mine, oh mine. Oh, Sandy, won't you be my love? Won't you be my love? Sandy, won't you be my love? Won't you be my love? Sandy, won't you be my love? Well, she wants to be a writer, but the money's been too damn good. At Lucifer's playpen out on Spring and May. She got a son and a daughter, but her ex, he don't help her none. I gotta save her and make her mine, oh mine. Ah, Sandy, won't you be my love? Won't you be my love? Sandy, won't you be my love? Hey. She goes by Sandy. I don't even know if that's her name. She's been hurt just one too many times, I guess. But it's time for her feature. Takes the stage and works the scene. Just watch her move, she's got to be mine, oh mine. Oh, Sandy, won't you be my love? Won't you be my love? Sandy, won't you be my love? Won't
Hollis Brown in our studios, Sandy, and that's off 3 shots from the new album. So tell me about this new album. What makes it different from the last one? I read somewhere you wanted to make this one bigger than anything you've done before. How do you make something bigger?
More polished, I
Yeah,
guess.
the first record was kind of a real garage band record. We kind of just sat in a circle in Nashville. We went to a guy named Adam Landry's house, and he has a studio in his backyard. It's pretty much a garage, like a shack, you know. And we recorded it real vintage style, right to tape, no digital, no anything, you know, all live, vocals, everything live. So it's kind of a more of a indie feel and a garage rock feel. And then with this one, we wanted to, you know, we saw growth happening with us, and we wanted to expand the sound, and we did a more of a digital kind of modern recording, I guess, you know. So this one is a little bigger. It's a little more in your face, I guess, and I don't know, it's a little more modern, I guess is the right word for it, and just bigger production overall. It doesn't sound like we're, you know, an indie rock band. It sounds like we're...
Right. Is the hope to become a major label sign? I mean, is that what you really are hoping for, or are you happy in the world, the
I wouldn't
indie
say
world?
necessarily a major label, but we want to be biggest band in the world.
Biggest band in the world.
Stadiums, you know.
Well, that would be great. You're on your way. I mean, you've been playing around the world. You're selling out wherever you go. So that's fantastic stuff that's been happening. Introduce yourselves.
Andrew Zainal is the drummer.
Okay.
John Bonilla is the guitarist.
Okay.
I'm Mike Montali. I'm a singer and play guitar.
I'm Adam Bach. I play keyboard and sing.
And Dylan DeVito, I play bass and sing.
All right, 5 guys on the road. Hollis Brown is the band. That's a
it.
lot
One
of
way
fun.
to put it.
That's a lot of fun. So what is your favorite part of being you? I mean, being in a rock band. What's the best part of being in a band? Doing what you do.
For me, it's creating new material. I love writing. I love writing music, you know. So that's my favorite thing.
You ever suffer writer's block? Does that ever hurt?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really view it that way. It's kind of sometimes the faucet is on and sometimes it's off, you know. So when it's on, you get like, you better make sure you get something out of it, you know.
Well, that's one of the big pluses of working for an indie is that you don't have that pressure of, we need more material. We need more material, you know, so you can do it at your own pace.
I
And
feel like that's killed a lot of bands when they just have to pump stuff out.
Yeah, because, you know, the old saying is you get like your whole life to write your first record, and then you get like 6 months to write your second one. So it's tough to keep up.
How long did it take to make this album?
Well, we put the last one out in 2013, so that was our first one.
Right.
And then last year we did the Record Store Day. So I guess it's been 2 years, pretty
2 years
much
in the
of
process.
writing.
And I know that you recorded a song and featured Bo Diddley, but I mean, you didn't record with him.
No, he died.
Yep,
you know. But we played a show in New Jersey at like a live house concert series called Live at Drew's, and a rep from the Bo Diddley estate was there, and she saw us play, and she said, "Oh, you know, Bo Diddley had all these unfinished kind of demos and stuff that he'd been working on before he passed away, like vaults." She said there's like hours and hours of material, and we were like, "We have to hear it." So it took a while to actually get her to release the songs to us, you know. And then we heard this demo, and it was this really lo-fi kind of thing. That was it was all him, though. It was
Like a bedroom recording.
yeah, and you could tell it was him. And then she said, "What do you you know?" So we said, maybe we can add something to this, kind of like pushing a little bit." She said, "Yeah, maybe that would be a great idea, you know." So we knew we were recording for the new record, and we thought it would be kind of a cool collaboration or feature. So we kind of hurried the process up and forced them into getting us a studio time so we could go in, and we did the whole thing in one day.
Wow.
So it was pretty...
Yeah, in a different studio in a different place than we recorded the rest of the album.
Yeah.
Converse rubber tracks.
in Brooklyn, New York.
They've been really good to us.
Well, the industry's, you know, certainly changed over the years. Now, you know, you can do things like making records in different studios.
Right.
You can be,
Right.
You can all put your pieces down in different places on computer, laptop, whatever, you know, and you can all mix it together. Unlike the old garage band days where it was done in a
All in
garage
one
and
session,
everybody in
yeah.
one take, and
Right.
then there you go.
You missed that note that one time. You got to do the whole thing.
Do
for
the whole
everybody.
album.
Well, I think as long as you have the same person mixing it, you know, I think that means a lot. Because then it gives it a cohesive feel, you know. So you can take tracks from all... I mean, we have 3 different producers on this. Don DeLego was the main producer. We recorded with him in the Poconos. And then Adam Landry did one track, Wait For Me, Virginia. And then Kieran Kelly did the Bo Diddley one. But we all had it mixed by the same guy. His name is John Agnello. and he's just brilliant. So it kind of made it cohesive and made it you don't realize that it was all over the place and it took 3 different cities to record this thing.
Well, I enjoy your music. You guys sound
Thanks.
great. I like the new album, 3 Shots. It's Hollis Brown in our studios. I'll ask if you wouldn't mind doing another
One
song
more?
for us.
All right.
Which one's
Make
this?
sure I'm in tune. This one's called Cathedral. It's the first song.
May the light shine down upon your shoulder, and show you the way. And may you be blessed by the hands of mercy. May the hands of mercy show you the way. Lonely child, left alone, your beautiful journey will lead to salvation and bring you back home. May life protect you and all that you value. May all that you value be worthy and true. And every child be able to eat, drink fresh water, and then work on the line. Lonely child, left alone, your beautiful journey will lead to salvation and bring you back home. May the light shine down upon your shoulder, and show you the way. And may you be blessed by the hands of mercy. May the hands of mercy show you the way. Lonely child, left alone, your beautiful journey will lead to salvation and bring you back home. Your beautiful journey will lead to salvation and bring you back home. Bring you back home. Oh.
Hollis Brown, live on the Voice of America. This is Border Crossings. The new CD is called 3 Shots. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
And since you're headed out on the road internationally after the tour with Counting Crows, where can people find the dates, the website again?
HollisBrown.com, or just go to our Facebook page.
And you guys
Like
will
us
reach
on
out and
Facebook. Yeah.
talk directly to the fans.
Absolutely.
Talk right to us if you want to.
If you want to, if you dare. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for coming in. This is Border Crossings. I'm Larry London. Stay tuned. There's much more coming your way here on the Voice of America.